Initially, my thoughts and feelings about AI were purely curiosity with very, very little apprehension. I envisioned a world where software programs no longer have to be repaired because they can self repair and then also auto update themselves to make them more efficient, which just makes the human job easier. It doesn't actually get rid of the human job. And selfishly, admittedly, I thought that if there were people that were going to be affected by the utilization of AI, that those people were going to be restricted to those who worked in computer technology. Like, I thought, well, if this happens, as long as you work outside of computer technology, not only should your work be easier, but it should be more efficient, which would be, good for the worker and it would be good for the employer in the ideal situation. It might have been 5 or 6 years ago that, and maybe a little bit earlier than that, but a friend of mine was talking about AI and how it could be dangerous and how it could take people's jobs. But both me and him are artists. And so at the time, we thought, well, for sure, it's not going to affect us because how is a computer going to create art? Yeah, we're definitely eating that one right now. My second feeling or stance toward it was kind of just amusement. Like, since it was already here and like people are using it, but I wasn't really using any of the programs at the time, not like ChatGPT or Gronk or anything like that. And so for a long time, people were like, oh my goodness, I had, an issue doing this one thing, but then I just put it into AI and it's done. And I heard that story for like several different people. And so one day I decide, hey, let me try to use this thing. And immediately I start seeing the flaws in what's going on. In fact, um, in response to one prompt, I think I was uh, not conversing, I was putting messages into Gemini, and it told me something that was entirely factually wrong. And then I fact checked Gemini, it checked, and it apologized to me for giving wrong information, which made me think like, wait a second, if if I'm only able to call you out because I'm knowledgeable about this issue, then how many other people have asked different prompts and then whatever AI just gives them slop information and then they just accept that as truth. And that experience plus the next experience that I'm going to talk about is what brought me to my current stage, which I don't think is going anywhere, and that's abject terror. Like, I am legitimately terrified by what AI is going to do to society. First of all, physically, I am one of those people who unfortunately lives within like a 30-mile radius of one of these data super centers. And I can tell you definitively that days after that thing was built, after that, the water has never tasted the same. I can boil and Brita filter my water, and there's still this slight, disgusting metallic taste to this water. And the only other alternative is to buy bottled water. But what happens when that bottled water is also contaminated by the data centers? The second is the psychological damage that can be caused by interacting with a program that, one, not only is trying to convince you that you're so smart, but two, is giving you false information. The combination of those two things are extremely dangerous. And I don't really feel like I have to explain why, but just giving desperate people the wrong information is not a good thing. Lastly, and to what I think is somewhat a gigantic elephant in the room, but it's the job market. Like, AI is removing hundreds of thousands of jobs per year. And if that's the case, it is quite literally only a matter of time before that's you. Like, it doesn't it doesn't matter how intricate and how complicated you think your job is. A machine that is programmed to do that thing exactly the same 100% of the time is going to replace you the second the technology is available. You think you being a surgeon is really awesome? Wait until they have surgical robots. You think being a lawyer is really awesome? Wait until they have lawyer robots. Like, it's even those things that people feel like, well, I'm untouchable because I do this, and there's no way a computer can do that. Well, maybe it can't do it the way that you do, but it can do it for a hell of a lot less. And with how incredibly deep AI's pockets are, like not just one particular company, but all of them, because they're all kind of acting together to achieve some sort of AI dominance. Like, I think these, what is it, like seven major AI companies, they would be entirely fine if they could just each own a seventh of the world at this point. Like, I don't really see them as competitors. I see them as like peers. Like, they are peers in this situation, and the competitors are us. And unfortunately, and it sucks to end on a negative note, and I've been basically talking about negative stuff this entire time, but there's not really much else that we can do about it. It would take, like, it would take quite literal global laws. Like, one country passing laws against AI is not going to really do anything. Because if they want to, they can just move their facilities somewhere else and just start doing the exact same thing. And the internet's global. Like, well, I mean, except for China and North Korea, but that's different. You know what I mean? So we can't avoid it. So what should we do? And in response to that question, simply put, I think we're fucked.